Okay, so let me get this straight. After kidnapping, grooming, assaulting women, and a bunch of other things, Ezra Miller is finally being recast by DC for The Flash, but probably only because he's possibly going to be in prison for 26 years or whatever. All right, let's go and just dive into the video today. This is coming to us from Bounding Into Comics. This is a rumor right now, but Ezra Miller is reportedly being replaced as the Flash. Quote, no matter what. I mean, this should have happened a lot longer ago, but hey, at least it's happening, right? So let's go ahead and dive right into the article. Facing up to 26 years behind bars doesn't help his chances, but no matter which way a jury or a judge rules, troubled actor Ezra Miller is likely done altogether as Barry Allen after The Flash reaches theaters. Okay, that is what Twitter user and Scooper, My Time to Shine Hello, among others, has been saying consistently based on inside information. This account, the account's latest tweet on the matter claims Ezra is getting replaced post-Flash movie no matter what. It's just the way it is. Okay? This should be pre-Flash movie. But I digress. A month ago, a tweet making a declaration along similar lines was sent by the Scooper, which read, not sure if good news or bad news, that's up to you, but I hear Ezra Miller is done as the Flash no matter what happens, not coming back. All right. These aren't claims coming out of nowhere or being made in a vacuum. They are presaged by frequent rumors and industry reports that Miller is too much of a headache for Warner Brothers to handle, I imagine. Allegedly, after David Zaslav and Discovery took over, there was a shouting match at a board meeting where the directors present wanted to shelve The Flash and figure out what to do about the Miller crisis. Honestly, that probably would have been the smarter thing to do in this kind of situation. It sucks, but how can, I can't even, not even myself, I can't watch the movie, no matter how badly I wanted to, because as terrible as Ezra Miller is, clearly, by the things that he's been charged for and all that, that's clearly not just he said, she said. I mean, this is evident stuff, right? So despite all that, before all that, I really did like him in Justice League. I actually like a lot of DC properties more than Marvel. And even though I can admit that a lot of DC movies do suck, I still, as a whole, have always liked them better than Marvel. And in the Justice League, I loved Ezra Miller's performance. I thought he made an amazing Flash. So obviously, this is a movie I really would have loved to watch, but I just can't do it. Not after literal crimes he's committed. This isn't a matter of different political opinion, different religious opinion, this, that, or the other, because I really don't give too much of a crap about that. I can separate the artists from their work and enjoy what they do, but when it comes to actually physically harming other people, deliberately throwing chairs at women's faces, grooming young children, teenagers, kidnapping situation. That just changes the name of the game there. Okay, let's go ahead and continue reading this. The scoop was first shared by Undercover Sign, who claimed Zaslav got outvoted on Tuesday with regards to the Ezra situation. Majority of the WB Discovery Board wanted to indefinitely shelve The Flash, but Zaslav was against it. So he called in another meeting today, and sounds like there's a shouting match happening right now at WB. Oh man, I'm telling you, this timeline of society is insane right now. And in Hollywood and in everything, it's all imploding. G4, this, She-Hulk, it's just imploding. YouTuber and film scooper Grace Randolph backed up the claim, declaring, I'm not sure how true this this is regarding specific drama details, but I am hearing that indeed this is it, man. The moment of truth for the Flash developing story. Hopefully we get an answer regarding its fate soon. Okay. Zaslav, however, reportedly likes the film and is a big believer that it can be a win for the studio, so he nixed their proposal. He also is a reported believer, I can't read today, in the idea Miller will seek help. The actor issued an apology, but it was taken as disingenuous when it looked like all Miller cared about was losing the role of Barry. Okay. YouTuber Orange Hat Reviews put it this way at the time the apology was given. He doesn't care that he's been running amok for 2 years, menacing women across 4 different countries. But the second his movie is threatened, time to buck up and make some apologies. A reputed insider who agrees told Deadline, there is no winning in this for Warner Brothers. This is an inherited problem for Zaslav. The hope is that the scandal will remain at a low level before the movie is released, and hope for the best to turn out. Well, between Miller going to jail and The Flash at risk of flopping thanks to bad publicity, smooth sailing appears out of reach in this case. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I wanted to watch this movie. It still sucks. It still sucks for me because I still would have loved to have watched it. Even with the decline of superhero movies in general, I just really like The Flash. I like DC properties as a whole, and I really wanted to watch this. So it sucks. But I can't. I just can't bring myself to do it. And it's just hard in this kind of situation when it's your main actor, because it's a lot easier to recast a role. Like, look at, Aquaman 2, for example, and how they could recast Mera or get rid of her altogether, pretty much. And if they do that, then yeah, I'd be a lot more inclined to want to watch it. But, yeah, I can't watch something Ezra Miller is starring in as badly as I have liked to have seen it. I just can't. But this is the thing, is whenever you hire, woke people, they're a liability big time. Because the thing about wokeism is it teaches people to worship themselves. And it's a religion of its own. And that's one thing that I just tweeted about earlier today. And that's one reason why, someone like me who's a Christian, why they always go after my faith whenever there's anything they don't agree with me on or they want to make an attack on me. That's what they always go for, because wokeism is a religion, and the very principles of it are the antithesis of what the Bible teaches. So obviously I'm not gonna really like what they're teaching with this self-worship stuff. And they're not going to like what I'm teaching and preaching with my faith. But the difference here is that, hey, yeah, I will use my platforms to share my beliefs and my faith because, hey, it's my social media. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to like it. And also in doing so, I'm not saying everybody has to align with it. Not everybody has to agree with it. Like I said in my last video, I'd be a bad Christian if that were the case, because according to the Bible, God gave us free will, and God did that for a reason. If God intended on every single person being a Christian, trust me, God could force that, but God didn't force that. And so who would I be to try to do the same, So obviously, whenever I made that tweet, some people got mad too, and they're just like, what do you mean? What about there's Christians do that all the time? Christians try to force their faith. Well, then they're not living according to the Bible if they are trying to force their faith on other people. So you can't force other people to be a part of your religion, no matter what religion that is. And for woke people, they are trying very hard to do so, to the point to where if you do not align with them, then they want to ruin you and everything about you. If you don't agree with them, and if you're not a part of this whole self-worship cult, then then yeah, then they want you fired and this, that, and the other. And the only problem with that is, I mean, not the only, but a big problem with that is that you're seeing people who, as long as they call themselves, you know, as long as they're inserted in this whole woke ideology, then they think that they can get away with anything. And in many cases, they are. A lot of people are more mad about us saying Ezra Miller is a he and calling him by his biological sex. A lot of people are more offended by that than the fact that he's actually physically assaulting women. It's just, and that's another thing on the issue. And I don't care who comes after me for calling Ezra Miller a he. This is a full-grown man, biological male, who preys on women who are biologically weaker, physically weaker than him. So by undermining who he is undermining the severity of what he's doing. So I will be doing that. And if I will be addressing him for who he actually is. And he is a criminal who is hurting people. So yeah, that's a big different story here. So anyway, that's that for today's video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I will catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.